now.
All right, guys. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the University of Nevada, Reno, at least virtually. My name is Julio Leiva. I'm one of the recruiters for the university, and I do have here with me Holly and Brianna, who are also current students at the university. Today, I'm going to be sharing some information with you guys, and I am going to be with you guys throughout the whole tour as well. But the tour itself is actually going to be given by Holly and Brianna itself. But before we do that, I just want to share some info real quick. So this right here, this is the university. We are currently here right now. As you guys can see over the mountains is where we have Lake Tahoe. It's just like about a 50-minute drive. Super easy to get there. It's so much fun to go up there right now during the summer, as well in the winter as well. Students love to go up there to snowboard, ski. There's a lot of student discounts available to our students too. You just got to show that wolf card and you get that discount too as well. But I just don't want to share too much. I want to leave it all to our students too as well. I welcome you guys here. I just want to go over the admission process too. It's super easy. The application itself typically opens early September. It takes like 5 minutes or less. You literally go online, fill out the application. No letters of recommendation are needed. No personal statements. None of that is needed. It literally, like I mentioned, 5 minutes or less, super quick and easy. You submit that application, and then we are rolling admission. So the quicker you submit your application, the quicker you submit your transcripts, your test scores, and all of that good stuff, the quicker we can get you admitted as well. So what we're looking for is your academic GPA. So we're only going to look into specific courses. So we're only going to look into 4 years of English, 3 years of math, 3 years of social sciences, and 3 years of natural sciences. If the student has a 3.0 academic GPA in those courses, you're automatically admitted to the university, no questions asked. And we're not impacted at all as well. So you're not only admitted to the university, but you're also admitted to the program of your choice. And these are all the programs that we actually have available here at the university. We have over 140 of them actually. Like I mentioned, none of them are impacted. You can graduate from the university within 4 years or less from the university actually. And we are a tier 1 institution too. What that means, we're in the top 200 schools nationwide. We're up there with your Yales, your Stanfords, all those amazing schools. We offer the same level of education for a fraction of the price actually. It is important to get involved here at the university. This right here, these are our student ambassadors, and it's a great organization to be part of as well. I myself was a student ambassador when I was a student at the university, and it helped me a lot, especially with my communication skills. I myself was super shy when I first attended the university, and now nobody can really shut me up or anything. So I highly recommend you guys all get involved, join organizations. They're gonna help you make connections here at the university. But that's all I had, all the information that I had for you guys as of right now. And I'm gonna go ahead and actually hand it over to Holly and Brianna for the actual campus tour. Holly, Brianna.
Thanks. So my name is Holly. I'll be a senior this year at University of Nevada, Reno. My major is in journalism, and I have a minor in cinema and media studies through the English department. And then I am a student worker. I work with Brianna at the Welcome Center, and I grew up here in Reno. Reno's my hometown.
Nice, thanks, Holly. So yeah, my name is Brianna. I will be a senior actually this upcoming year. School starts on Monday, so yay. I'm majoring in philosophy with a minor in religious studies. I'm also a Reno local, so I was born and raised in this area. I'm also a first generation student, so I'm the first in my family to go to college. So I'm very knowledgeable about the different types of programs we offer on campus. I would say the campus is really supportive of us first generation students as a whole. They actually have a whole center on campus that we'll kind of briefly touch on as well. And I'm also part of Greek life here on campus. So yeah. So now we're going to start on the tour. We're going to take a look at the Joe Crowley Student Union. So our first stop, this is the hub of student life on campus. This is kind of like, I would say this is the building that every student goes into at least like once a day. On the first floor, you have the Welcome Center where we are able to give on-campus tours or these virtual tours. There's also a Wells Fargo branch in there. There's a Wolf Card office. There's the Nevada Wolf Shop. So that's where you get your Nevada gear or your textbooks. And then on the second floor is where we have our student food court. So again, I mentioned, I think all students go at least for the food in here. So the food court, we have Panda Express, Grateful Gardens, which is like a vegan vegetarian option. We have Porta Subs. We have a Mexican Del Lobo Food Express. And then what else do we have up there? We have a Soho Sushi burrito place. We have a pizza place up there. And then our newest addition is the Habit Burger Grill. So it's right on campus, which is super convenient for those who like the burgers. And it's opened up back in February, and since its opening, the line has been out the door since then. So now I do want to touch a bit about our ASUN. So that stands for Associated Students of the University of Nevada. That's basically our student government on campus. So we have a university president that represents all 18,000 undergraduates, and then we have different senators that represent the different colleges. So if you're a part of the College of Business or the College of Education, you're gonna have senators representing you as a College of Business student or a College of Education student and vice versa. And the neat thing about ASUN, and ASUN, you can actually join that as a student. ASUN actually gets to say as to how our student fees are allocated into different programs. And so ASUN, these students, were like, you know what, I think these students need this service. And this service pack provisions is a student pantry. So you basically go in, get whatever you need. They just need to check in just to mark off and keep inventory of what's left. And get what you need. They have non-perishable food items, grocery store gift cards, some school supplies, and even hygiene products. So again, this is just a really supportive resource for any student on campus. I know I've come to use it from time to time. So yeah. And next, I want to talk about the center, Every Student, Every Story. So this is a great place to hang out if you really want to meet new people from different backgrounds, or you want to come and share your own story with other people from different backgrounds or from a similar background as yours. I'm part of a multicultural Greek organization, so we do hang out in here a lot. Any student is welcome to come. So in here we have computer lab stations. It's actually really nice. They kind of have like a cubicle kind of setting. And then there's just tables, chairs, there's a lounge area with board games and such. So super nice in here. And the faculty and staff are super supportive of you as a student, and make sure you're successful throughout your college career. And next, I do want to talk about our movie theater. So we have a movie theater on the third floor of this building. But when the weather gets warmer, we like to have movie nights on the lawn. And as a student, it is free for you to attend or to go to these movies. And in fact, they also give you free popcorn and a free water or soft drink. So that's super nice. And the kind of movies we do show are fairly new ones. I know before we were forced to go into quarantine in mid-March, we were showing the Parasite film and the newest Maleficent at the time. So we try to get fairly new ones and popular ones as well in the movie theater. And right next to the Joe, we're going to head into our Knowledge Center.
Thanks, Brianna. So our Mathewson IGT Knowledge Center is really cool. Not only do we have our physical collection of books in here, but we also have over 400 computers for students to use. And as a university student, you do have subscription to online services that gives you access to 600,000 online ebooks and journal articles. But jumping into this building on the basement level, you have the @1. The @1 is our main tech floor. So you have a lot of computers on here that have a ton of programs you'll be using for courses like Adobe Creative Suite. We also have a recording room. So if you need to record a podcast, a mixtape, whatever it may be for class or for personal, projects, that's there too. We also have a media checkout in the back of this floor. So using your Wolf Card student ID, you can check out a variety of cameras, laptops, hard drives, lighting equipment, whatever you may need for your classes or for, again, any personal projects. Our newest addition to the @1 is the @Reality, which is a VR lab that they've built for students to use. We have 4 VR headsets, and students are using virtual reality in their coursework to build and code programs. But you can also just check out a headset and have some fun with it, which is pretty nice. Jumping to the main floor and up, you're looking at 4 floors dedicated for studying. So the majority of our collection of books are housed in what's called the MARS system, which stands for Mathewson Automated Retrieval System. And it's basically the back 1/3 of the building. And the MARS system, using your online access or going to the front desk, you can request materials and it will retrieve it for you. And that clears up a lot of space for different types of studying for students. So the way they broke up the library is sound level. So the main floor, you have more of a group and collaborative study space. It is a normal talking level. And then as you go up the floors, it gets quieter and quieter. And the 5th floor, which is just out of shot of this photo, is encased in soundproof glass windows, and that is our silent study floor. So like you can hear someone like drop their water bottle in there. It is like dead silent. And that's really nice because some students do need that environment to study in. On top of that, we have printing and computers on every floor, and then there's also group collaboration rooms you can book. So it can just be a private room for you and your friends to study or practice presenting in. And then jumping outside of the Knowledge Center, we are looking at just a nice little slice of life as students walk to and from the Joe and the KC. That blue N is the center of campus. So if you're ever on campus, that is a great spot for photos. And then next, we're looking at William Raggio.
So this building houses our College of Education. The programs here at our university, the college is referred to as the College of Education and Human Development now. For that reason, we have a Human Development and Family Studies major, which basically studies basically the lifespan of humans from birth till they die. And they kind of just study like the interactions with society, interactions with certain services, certain people, things like that. So it's actually really interesting. But with our education, we also offer elementary education and secondary education. So the neat thing is if you go to our university, you actually, at the end of the 4 years, when you graduate with your bachelor's, you are also certified to teach in the state of Nevada. So I know a lot of people that have graduated in May have either gotten interviews that month or that summer and have started teaching that following fall. So if teaching's on your radar, I definitely recommend this program here. And then we also have another program called Nevada Teach. So that's basically where you get 2 degrees within 4 years. So you can get your teaching degree as well as like a biology degree or an environmental science degree or a Spanish degree or French. They have a different set of subjects, but that's kind of how that works. And again, you'll be specialized in specific fields and be able to teach students. So nice. And so now we're going to head further south campus, and right across from this building is our Reno School of Journalism.
Yeah, so our Reno School of Journalism is one of the smallest colleges on campus with about 600 students, but 90% of our graduates are professionally employed within 6 months of graduation. And as a journalism student myself, I do think that is due to the fact that you do have to complete an internship before you graduate. The school does have 6 Pulitzer Prize winners, which we love to boast about because it is 2 more than Stanford. On top of that, we have a variety of labs inside the Reynolds School building. We have a reading room that's open for anyone to use. And we also have their own media checkout just for journalism students. Again, more cameras and lighting equipment and things like that. But continuing on, we are going to take a look at our business building.
Thanks, Holly. So the Ansari Business Building is that building you see just straight ahead. So with our College of Business, we have majors ranging from accounting, information systems, finance, general business, economics. Ooh, I'm losing them. Marketing and management. The College of Business is our most popular college on campus, but I would say it's probably one of the most successful ones as well. The college here actually has their own little career center. So as a College of Business student, you're able to get exclusive information on certain internships and certain job opportunities. As well, the college also annually hosts the Sontag Entrepreneurship Competition. And so this is actually available to any university student on campus. So this competition is basically like Shark Tank. You and a group of people or friends or whatever, you either invent something or you create a business, and you're basically trying to convince these investors to give you money to start up this business or whatever. I believe the prize is about $50,000. I don't know if that number changes or not, but personally, I do know some chemical engineers that actually invented this, like these eyeglasses for snowboarding. And yeah, they were going through the competition. I haven't been updated with them, but again, it's just to show you that you don't have to be a business student to do this. You can be any university student on campus. And next, right next to this building, we're gonna talk about the Pennington Student Achievement Center.
All right, so the Pennington Student Achievement Center is a really cool building. Basically, it brought a lot of student resources that were scattered across campus and put them under one roof for the students to use. And everything in this building is included in your tuition and fees. So I will talk more about those offices and departments in a second. So when you first walk into this building, you're met with a set of what we call social stairs. So at the previous library, which is actually what used to be where the Pennington is now, a lot of students love to congregate on the staircase and kind of sit together and things like that. And that was a little bit of a fire hazard. So when they went to build the Pennington, they developed social stairs. So you can see students like to hang out, they'll have a bite to eat, they'll do some light reading in between classes or just chat with their friends. So it's just another spot, an opportunity to kind of build student life in a community on campus. We also have a silent study area, computer labs, and group study rooms in the Pennington as well. And on top of all that, we also have 360 classrooms. This is really cool, and you most likely will have one of your classes inside the Pennington building. I had a geography class in one of these classrooms, and like the slide says, it is a very engaging environment. So you're already split up into groups at these like almost triangle shaped tables. And then each wall has whiteboards, and then every projector has a whiteboard as well. So no matter which way you're facing, you'll still get to see what the professor is presenting. And then they do have charging stations in the center of the table, which is really convenient for any kind of tablet or technology that you're using for class. But continuing on, we are going to do another spotlight on food. So like Brianna mentioned, there is that food court in the Joe. But as we move south of campus, we do like to highlight more eateries that we have on campus. So Create, the best way to describe it is it's kind of in the same vein of Porta Subs, where it's like custom made sandwiches, salads, wraps, things like that. And then this is a view of the Pennington from the third floor, and it's also at this time that I like to talk about the services that we offer. So we offer, we have our Disability Resource Center in the Pennington, and that is for any documented disability that you have. You can get accommodations for test or lecture or whatever it may be. This includes temporary disabilities. So say you went skiing over winter break and you broke your arm. If you just came back and say, hey, I need some help, you know, this was my writing hand, they'll make sure to either send someone with you to lecture to help you keep up on notes, or give you the ability to record the lecture, or some type of accommodation so you don't fall behind in your coursework. We also have our career studio in this building, which is extremely important, and they not only can help you find a job after college, but that internship that you need, or any kind of student employment. They're really great about finding employers who are willing to work with students and their college schedules, which is awesome. But they'll also host an internship fair on campus at least once a semester. And then we also have our math tutoring center and our just general tutoring center. And then we also have our writing and speaking center, which won't only help you on like just schoolwork, but it can also help you on scholarships or grant research proposals as well. So those are really, really great. And then finally, we do have a counseling center and meditation and reflection rooms available for the students to use. Again, all included in your tuition and fees. But as we move on, we're going to take a look at our engineering building.
Yeah, before we go on to the building, I do want to mention that that First Generation Student Center is in that PSAC building on the very top floor. That's where we have like First in the Pack, Trio Scholars, Gear Up, and a couple other programs, but that's where it's located. And so now this building, we're kind of more at the south end of campus now. This is our newest addition to the College of Engineering. So we have a number of other engineering buildings on campus, but this is just a newer one that the university decided that we needed to put more resources for our engineering students. So this is opening up for this upcoming fall. They're just putting on the final touches. I think there's even going to be a food place in here. I believe it's actually going to be another sushi burrito slash sushi bowl kind of place in here. So there's another food place in here on the very south end of campus. But a bit about our College of Engineering. The majors that we have include environmental engineering, mining and materials sciences, We also have computer science is also in that college. We have mechanical, electrical, civil engineering. Oh, and I feel like I'm missing one more. But those are kind of our engineering programs as a whole. And so right next to this building is our Davidson Mathematics and Science Center.
Yeah, thanks, Brianna. So our Davidson Mathematics and Science Center, or DMS as a lot of students call it, this has our math and statistics department in this building and our College of Science Dean's office. But 70% of students use this building, and I think that is because we have 23 different science labs in here. So you most likely will have a science class in here. We also have some tiered seated classrooms and a computer teaching classroom, as well as a student computer lounge. We also have the Redfield Auditorium, which hosts our Discover Science lecture series. They bring some pretty notable names to campus. A couple of years ago, we had Neil deGrasse Tyson visit campus, and that is a free lecture series. Any student can walk in and just see whoever's coming to campus, which is pretty cool. But jumping into the building, we're doing another spotlight on food. So we have the Elements Cafe. I remember having a super early math class my freshman year and definitely swinging by here to pick up some breakfast. So it's a great place for bagels. But continuing on, we are going to take a look at the Fletchman Agriculture Building.
So in this building, it is home to the College of Agriculture, Biotechnology, and Natural Resources. Since that is such a mouthful, we like to call it CABNR for short. So the kind of majors you'll see in here are biochemistry, molecular biology, environmental science, veterinary sciences, or agricultural sciences. We also have nutrition in here as well. So you kind of have a wide range of majors in here. And additionally, if you're looking into science or anything like that, studying that kind of subject, you most likely have to take a human anatomy and physiology course. And with those labs, they actually get the opportunity to go and look and like observe basically for cadavers. So we actually have 2 female and 2 male cadavers on our university, and it's really nice that our undergraduate students get to study that at that level. They don't allow that for every student at other universities. So yeah, now we're gonna take a quick water break.
Thanks, Brianna and Holly, for such amazing information. And with that, we have reached the end of the tour of our northern part of campus. But before we move on, like Brianna mentioned, we are going to take a little water break. And this is an opportunity for you guys to ask us as many questions as you like using the chat feature down below. So go ahead and type in any question you guys might have regarding anything, really anything that Holly or Brianna covered, or any questions that you guys might have about the university. We're here to answer those questions. So please ask away. While they type away, Holly, Brianna, can you guys share with us what's you guys' favorite part of campus and why?
I think my favorite part, we're gonna see it later on, is the quad. The quad, and I think Hilliard Plaza. Hilliard Plaza is that grassy area in front of the business building. Just because like I personally like to sunbathe, like especially in the summertime. I like to just go out there and read my book, you know, bathe in the sun. It just feels really good to me. So I think that's my favorite part of campus, just being able to do that. And those areas on campus specifically are pretty quiet. They're pretty mellow. There's nothing ever crazy happening. So yeah.
Yeah, and I definitely love our fabrication lab that we have in the new University Arts building. We'll actually get to see that building later on in the tour, but they have a really array of a lot of different systems available for students. So 3D printers, engraving machines, and then just some really high-end computers with a lot of great systems and programs on them. So I really enjoy being in there and creating different types of projects, be it for classwork or personal.
That's awesome. And what about your class? So what's been your favorite class that you've taken so far at the university and why?
So I'm trying to remember. I think one of my favorite classes is a philosophy class. It was problems in the philosophy of religion. I really like the professor. She was super cool. She's like internationally known for whatever she's studying. So it's really nice to be taking a class from her. And yeah, I don't know. I'm a religious studies minor as well. So that class kind of had all my interests in one. So yeah, it was really interesting. We just read, discuss in class, write papers. I mean, I like doing that. But yeah, I would say that's my favorite class.
And I'd say for me, my favorite class so far has been digital media. That was really cool because it brought a lot of what I learned from like the journalism aspect of like editing things, as well as what I've been learning in cinema and media studies, which is more of the creative side of it. So that was really cool because we got to make some pretty cool videos and animations in that class.
Mm.
Awesome, thank you so much. I'm just checking the chat and it seems like we're not getting any questions anymore. So we're gonna go ahead and continue with our tour. Take it away, Holly and Brianna.
So up next, we are looking at our campus history really briefly. So our university was founded in 1874 in Elko, Nevada, and then in 1886, we came to Reno. Reno is just a growing city, so they thought it would do better towards near a larger population. The building that we're looking at, Morrill Hall, is actually the second Morrill Hall ever built. If you go to Elko, Nevada today, I believe near Elko High School, you'll still see the original building standing. But this building at one point in time held the entire university, and then it even housed some faculty as well. Now it is our alumni center, and we do have every yearbook up to date in this building except for 1906's edition. That edition unfortunately was lost in the San Francisco fire because the publisher was in San Francisco, so that's the only edition we don't have. But another little fun fact is every year for spring commencement, when a new class is graduating, the class from 50 years ago will have their class reunion in this building. But if you're to walk through this building, you'd be met with the university quad.
Yeah, so this is the place that I really enjoy on campus. And I mean, luckily we are social distanced this semester. They actually drew on those like spray painted circles. So I mean, I still have the opportunity to go and sunbathe and read and study whatever I want to do. And that's typically what you see other students doing on the quad. You often see people throwing a frisbee around with their friends or football. People even bring their dogs over and they play fetch. So that's always super cute to see. But yeah, I mean, other students just take a nap on here as well and all that stuff. Um, and so I do want to point out kind of just the quad itself. This kind of gives you some East Coast feels, especially with the elm trees around and the brick buildings surrounding you. The quad was inspired by the design of the University of Virginia. And it was actually designed by Stanford White. And that's the same person who designed Madison Square Garden. And the elm trees surrounding the quad are actually at least 100 years old. So, I mean, that shows you that the university's been here for some time. There's a lot of history here. And this is kind of a historic part of campus. And some student events that happen on campus, 2 welcoming events at least. We have Club Fair. So that's where the 250 plus clubs and organizations come and table up all across the quad. It happens the first week of the semester. And they're just here to welcome new students and even new transfer students, all that stuff, and try to get them involved and really make them feel good to be here. Another welcoming event that we have, it's called the Pancake Feed or Wolf It Down. So that's where the student government, the ASU one that I was talking about earlier, they actually set up that whole event. They are the ones who give out and make free pancakes to any students that comes by. And I'll tell you, this event starts at like 11 p.m. midnight. So at 11 p.m. they're out there making pancakes for anyone that shows up, and the line is the longest I've ever seen it. So that's a really cool event. That's where you'll see the marching band play, the cheerleaders perform, the mascots are there, and then certain Greek organizations also perform to try to recruit some members as well. And lastly, I do want to point out that picture in the center. That is a picture of our spring commencement. So if you graduate in May, you're going to have graduation on the quad. So it's a really neat time around that time. It's sunny. There's some good vibes out there. Everyone's really happy and excited to be graduating. So I always like to point that out. And before we move on, I do want to point out that Reno does have all 4 seasons. So the quad really reflects that nicely. So the top are spring and summer months, and then the bottom is our fall and our winter months. And luckily for us at school, the university is really good at notifying students ahead of time whether or not it's safe to get to campus, or maybe there's a little delay, or maybe there's no school. And our facility services are really good at cleaning up the pathway. So when we do have class, we're not going to be slipping around. So yeah, that was a mouthful. Now we're going to take a look at the den.
Yeah, so the Den is our all-you-can-eat campus eatery in our main dining commons. At this time, I also like to talk about our meal plans. But at the Den, we do cater to a variety of dietary restrictions, so be that vegan, vegetarian, any kind of gluten allergy or nut allergy. We make sure there's food for every student. We also, a lot of the food is made to order by the cooks on staff, and they do switch it up quite a bit. They'll have themed dinners, things like that. So you're not stuck eating like a similar thing every week at the Den, which is nice. Now, going into our meal plans, we do have 3 options for meal plans. They are on our housing website. So after the tour, if you want to take a look at them, that's great, just unr.edu/housing. Um, but the meal plans have 2 components. Each meal plan has 2 components. So the first component is our weekly meal swipes. So weekly meal swipes, you have a set amount for every week, and you swipe it once, and it gets you into the Den, so it's all you can eat for that meal, and that's the use of one swipe. And then the second component is food bucks, and the best way to describe food bucks is you have a set amount that goes onto your Wolf card, almost like a gift card for the semester. So any of the eateries you have seen on this tour, including some of the ones that you haven't seen, but any of the on-campus eateries, you can just go there and pay with your food bucks. So like say you go to Starbucks and you get like $4 of food or coffee, you would just swipe your Wolf card and it would deduct from the total of your food bucks for that semester. One really cool thing that we started doing is meal trade. So with those weekly meal swipes, you can't like they don't carry over from week to week. So if you get the plan with say 14 meal swipes and you have used 13 and the next week, it's just still going to go back to 14. You won't have that extra swipe carryover. So what you can do with that extra swipe, if you just don't want to go to the Den again, is you can go to any of the eateries with a big yellow sticker that says meal trade. The Habit Burger is one of the newest eateries that have started to do this. You just go over there, say you would like to do the meal trade option, and you can get, like at the Habit, you can get a burger, fries, and a soft drink for that one meal swipe. So any kind of set amount of food, and it varies depending on which eatery you go to, what kind of food options there are. But yeah, so that is another really cool program we started using. So the only major difference between the 3 meal plans is how many swipes per week versus how much food bucks you get every semester. But yeah, so again, you can go onto our website for the detailed layout of those meal plans. And you do have to get a meal plan if you are a first-year student under the age of 21 living on campus. But continuing on with the tour, we are going to take a look at the University Arts Building.
Thanks, Holly. So this is the University Arts Building. This is another extension of our Church Fine Arts, our other fine arts building. And so this building opened up in the spring of 2019. So it's a little over a year old now, but it still has state-of-the-art equipment and rooms for our fine arts students. So in here, you'll find state-of-the-art recording studios, different just practice rooms in here as well. We also have a 287-seat recital hall. And we have 2 different labs, the fabrication lab that Holly was talking about earlier, one of her favorite places on campus, and an electroacoustic lab. And lastly, we do have a student museum that is 2 stories, and it's called the Lily. So, and that is free for anyone to just go in and take a look. I like to always go in there from time to time just to see like what other students on campus are creating and making, like what are they trying to say with their art. I think it's really cool. It gives me that sense of community here. So yeah, that's kind of what I like about this building. And so right next to this building, so now we're heading a bit more north campus. We're kind of in the middle of campus now. We're going to talk about our student services building.
Yeah, so our Fitzgerald Student Services Building, this is a very important building to know once you're a student on campus. So I'll break down by floor what departments we have. So first floor, we have Office of Prospective Students, we have Office of International Students and Scholars, our Campus Police Department, and Panera Bread, which is now opening in the winter, I believe. They had to push back the opening a little bit. And then on the second floor, we have Admissions and Records, our Graduate School Offices, and our Veteran Services. And then third floor, we have financial aid, our cashier's office, and our loans office. So yeah, so a lot of important stuff happens in this building. And kind of jumping back to the campus police, I'll do a little quick thing on campus safety. So we do have what's called a blue light system on campus. So we have over 100 of these like blue boxes that have a little like siren on the top and like emergency call button. And if you were like ever in an emergency situation, you could hit the button and it would contact campus police and they'd be dispatched to your location. And then like say you were in a situation where you couldn't wait for them at that one blue box, you could go to any of the other ones on campus. They're all within eyeshot of each other and continue to activate them, and it will trace the ones you're activating, and the campus police can come meet you to where you're walking to. But we've only had to use this system once in a medical emergency and everyone was okay. But I like to think of it as a nice security blanket because I always do get questions from parents about campus safety. So I would say that our campus is really safe. You know, the campus police make sure to have a good relationship with the student population. You know, they'll have coffee with a cop or donut with a cop in the library, and it's a good opportunity for students to get some free breakfast food and be able to chat about any concerns they have about campus, which is awesome. But yeah, continuing on, we are going to take a look at our fitness center.
Thanks, Holly. So this is our EL Weekend Fitness Center, and I believe it opened up in the February of 2017. So this was the year I was an incoming freshman, and so this was like the newest building that we had. And so now I'm a senior now, and it's actually really cool to see how many more buildings we have added to campus. I know there's at least 3 or 4 new buildings, and there's future plans to build another one. So it's cool to see how much the university is expanding. But back to the gym. The first thing you see when you walk in are going to be these stadium stairs. Literally, the first thing you walk in is these stairs. These go all the way up to the 4th floor, but it's really neat just to have these in the gym. I mean, in the previous one, the university would have, students would use the stairwells as a form of exercise. You would prefer to use actual stairs rather than the Stairmaster. But this wasn't usually allowed because it was a fire hazard. So the people who were in charge of designing this new gym really kept into consideration the students' needs and concerns. And so that is why they've built it super right in the middle, and it's super accessible to all these students. I mean, you have all the weights on the side to actually make your workout harder if you need it to be that way. And so on the 4th floor, we actually have a 1/8 of a mile track. So that's what the stairs go up to. So I mean, if you're going to take the stairs, run, go down, and etc., you have the opportunity to do that as well. Or if it's just too hot or too cold outside, running in here on this track is super convenient for you as a student. And it never gets really boring, I would say. Not like the treadmill, at least personally for me, because you are going to be circling around the 3rd floor, kind of over you. So that's what you see in the right corner is our basketball courts. Those are located on the 3rd floor. And kind of the other half of this are more strength training equipment, treadmills, the cycling equipment, all those other kind of machines are there as well on the 3rd floor. But specifically with the basketball court, this isn't where the basketball team practices or anything. This is just for like a general student use only. So you can come here by yourself, bring some friends to play a game, or come and maybe join others that are currently playing. And also another way to get involved on campus is through doing intramural sports. So a lot of the intramural sports activities happen on this basketball court. Some of the sports that we do have, I'm not going to name all of them. In this basketball court, we do volleyball, dodgeball, basketball, and even futsal, indoor soccer. So yeah, that's what we kind of do in here. And now we're going to head down to the 2nd floor. So on the 2nd floor, we have at least six exercise rooms, and I believe we have one other one on the 1st floor. But these exercise rooms host all of our classes, and as a student, it is free for you to go to these classes. You do pay a fee to use the gym with your tuition and fee, so you never have to pay anything like during the semester. You always have to pay for it before, but I mean, it's really convenient. I mean, if you go to these classes every day for all 4 years, you're never going to be charged any additional fee. It's probably going to be the same throughout the years and etc. And they do have certified instructors within the city that come and teach these classes. It's not just any students. It's people who know what they're doing. So the different kinds of classes that we offer are Pilates reformers, which is what you're looking at right now. We have a yoga and Pilates room. We have a cycling class, so there's a room full of those bikes. We also offer kickboxing and boxing. We offer different types of dancing classes like Zumba or hip hop. And we also offer self-defense classes that are actually in partnership with the police services as well. And so now I want to take us to the first floor. So what you're looking at right now is only the first half of the floor. The other half is more free space for those who are into CrossFit or anything like that. And we do offer CrossFit classes as well on the first floor. But this is all the free strength training equipment, and we also have Olympic type of weightlifting equipment as well. Other things you'll find on the first floor are bathrooms and locker rooms, as well as showers. And we do have a free towel service on here, so if you forget a towel, you have one at the gym for sure. And so now that kind of closes up the gym. We're gonna head more north of campus and take a look at our health sciences.
Yeah, so Pennington Health Science Building, this houses our Orvis School of Nursing, as well as some clinical simulation rooms and a simulation laboratory. And the way they set up these environments is so that nurses and medical students can train side by side like they would in their actual like jobs after graduation. We also have a medical student lounge in this building, and then included in tuition and fees, not in this building, but up north campus as well, we do have a student health center. And that's really cool because if you have like any shot you need for an immunization booster or a checkup or things like that, you can visit their website for the list of what they service for the students, and you can call ahead and show up, and they can just take care of you right there on campus, which is pretty awesome. But continuing on, we are going to take a look at our athletics.
Yeah, so we are a D1 school in the Mountain West Conference, and luckily for us as students, we are able to attend all home games for free. So all you got to do is show them your Wolf card, and you're free to go. Right here, I will touch a bit about, or we'll only focus on football and basketball, but we do have a variety of other sports, of other D1 sports. So keep those in mind as well. But we're going to take a look at our Mackey Stadium. So this has about 17,000 people. And the view that you're looking at right now, the viewpoint is the student section. So at every home game, there is at least a little student section. So yes, it's free to get to the home games, but you have to get there super early to try to get into the student section because everyone wants to be there at least once. I would always recommend going to these games, even if you're not into sports or anything. It's a great way to go and socialize with some new people you've just met, or just to go and meet new people there. So I always recommend you go. I mean, personally, I only go to socialize. I don't really watch the games, to be honest with you, but that's just me. In the student section, that is where the marching band plays, so you're really able to hear those instruments. And the cheerleaders are closer by, so they're really able to pep you up while the game is starting. And before we move on, I do want to mention another welcoming event that we have for incoming students. So at one of the first few home games, we have what we call running with the pack. And so that's where incoming freshmen or transfer students meet up in one of the corners and run across the field right behind the football players and cheerleaders. You get a free t-shirt as well, and it's just super cool to hear the crowd cheering for you, welcoming you to the Wolfpack. And so now I'm going to touch a bit on our basketball team. So our basketball team is home to our Lawler Event Center that houses about 11,000 people. And our team did make it to the NCAA Sweet 16 in 2018. And we do host a variety of other events in this event center. So if you graduate in December and you have winter commencement, that's where this ceremony takes place in here. And so that kind of concludes the end of our tour. And now we're going to talk about a bit of internships.
Awesome, thank you, ladies. So yeah, not only is there a lot of things to do on campus, there's also a lot of opportunities for students to participate in internships. A lot of the times they're actually paid internships as well. So not only are students getting that experience within their field, but they're also getting paid for it as well. Our students are out there working with major companies such as Apple, Tesla, incredible companies as students already, and gaining that experience. Our career studio here on campus, actually, they host a fair every single semester, and over 80 companies and organizations actually come out to the fair itself, and they're hiring our students. Students, come prepared, come dressed nice, come with your resume in hand. A lot of times students actually get hired right there on the spot too as well. So just come prepared to that fair and get that job, get that internship as well. If you think about it, a degree is just a piece of paper. What's going to get you into law school, med school, graduate school, what's going to get you that job that you really want after graduation are the connections and the networking that you make at the university and outside of the university as well. So make sure you're involved on campus, off campus, through internships, through clubs, organizations. Like we mentioned, there's over 250 clubs and orgs. So that's a great way to meet other people and network on campus too as well. And with that, we are going to go into our last water break. And this is another opportunity for you guys to go ahead and type in your questions that you would have for us. While you guys type away, Holly and Brianna, could you guys share with us maybe some clubs and orgs that you guys are involved in, or do you guys work on campus too? Can you guys tell us a little bit about that and how do you guys like it and things like that?
So I have 2 on-campus jobs. I have one at the Welcome Center, which gives tours, and then I also work at the University Writing and Speaking Center. I totally agree with Julio that definitely just having those jobs on campus, I've met a lot of people on campus that have made my life easier. I've felt more supported as a student. And I've also increased and bettered my communication skills as well. I can write better, I can speak better, at least I hope so. So those are the things I'm involved with. I'm also part of a multicultural Greek organization that has an emphasis on serving the Hispanic/Latino population in Reno, Sparks area. So yeah, again, that's just another great way to meet new people. I've really bettered my leadership skills as well. I don't know, it's kind of, it's taught me a lot, and I've met a lot of new people, and it's definitely kept me interested and excited about school because I'm involved. I like going to school. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I work at the Welcome Center with Brianna, and the one thing I will say, working on campus versus like working for another employer, because I did have other jobs before working for the university, is they're definitely catering to the needs of the students. So like when finals week comes around or dead day comes around, even though you're technically free, you don't have a class or any obligation, they understand you need extra time to study, you need extra time to prep. So that is a really great thing about working for as like a student worker or an employer that works with university students, is that understanding and level of commitment that the job that you're having is to help you complete your education. And then as far as clubs go, I just started a club from a creative writing course that I took this past semester. The professor and, there's just such a great connection with the students and the professor that we started our own little club for just peer review and workshopping of different stories we write, which is pretty cool.
So wait, Holly, you made that club?
Yeah.
Like,
well,
nice.
I didn't make it, but like
you helped start it.
That's incredible. And again, like that's an opportunity for any other student as well. You just need 10 people that are interested in the same thing that you are, and a faculty member. Hello, I'm faculty, so I'm more than happy to be you guys' advisor as well. And ASUN, which is our student body government, can actually provide funding to start off your club as well. So just like Holly, any of you guys can start off your club as well. Perfect. And with that, thank you guys, Brianna and Holly. With that, we've actually concluded our campus tour. Up next, we do have our tour of housing. If you're not interested in living with us on campus, which I highly recommend that you do stay, and check it out too as well. Studies actually show that students perform a lot better if you stay here on campus, and we'll explain why too throughout the housing presentation. So please join us if you can. If you cannot, I understand. But before you leave, I do want to share some contact information. If you have any specific questions about any of these subjects, here below are their contact information. The best way to get in contact is through email, and they'll get to you as soon as possible. But without further ado, we're going to go ahead and continue with our housing tour.
Yeah, so jumping into our housing tour, so we aren't going to go through every res hall, but at the end of the tour, we will give you the website for our housing website, unr.edu/housing, and they do have 360 virtual tours of every layout for every res hall on there. But the picture you're looking at currently is of Canada Hall. This is open to transfer and upperclassmen only. So after your freshman year, you can apply to live here. And it is our only apartment styled res hall. So you have 1 to 2 people per room, 8 people per apartment, and you and the people in your apartment will share a common living space and a kitchen. But jumping into the rest of our res halls, we're going to focus on Peavine Hall and just kind of highlight a lot of the facilities that every res hall has, but we're just using Peavine as an example. Peavine is a themed community, so it highlights the 7 dimensions of wellness. I don't know all of them off the top of my head, but some are like environmental wellness, mental, physical, and spiritual. So the students there can kind of define what those dimensions mean to them as a student. So definitely look to see if the res hall you are looking at is a themed community. But jumping in, we are looking at laundry. So in Peavine Hall, the laundry room is on the first floor, and we just recently started using a laundry app, so you no longer have to have a laundry card to pay for your washing. So using the app, you can pay for the machines, and then it will send you a notification when the cycle is done, so you don't have to worry about forgetting any clothes in there or anything like that. And then finally, the app can be loaded with money remotely, so if your parents want to send you money, or if you just need to hop online and send some money to the app, it's easy to do. And then continuing on, we are going to look at Peavine, the student room. So you are looking at suite styled living. So you have 1 to 2 people, or 2 to 3 people per bedroom, and then 2 to 3 bedrooms per suite. And then you guys do share a common space and a bathroom. These are semi-private bathrooms, so you and your suite mates are responsible for cleaning them, versus the more traditional res hall option where it is 1 to 2 people per room and the bathroom for the floor. The staff does clean the bathrooms in that setup. But every student gets the same amount of furniture. So that is the bed frame, the 80-inch long twin mattress, a set of drawers, desk, chair, and some shared closet space. And then there is free Wi-Fi internet connection for the students living in the res halls. And then we have social spaces on every floor. So your RA will most likely have your floor meetings here. We'll have TVs, couches, pool tables, and it's just another space for you and your roommates or anyone on your floor to hang out. And then we also have study spaces on every floor. So this is just a nice quieter area, and it's a good in-between if, say, you don't want to go all the way down to the library, but you don't want to study in your room either. We have whiteboards in here, we have tables, we have these really cool little chairs that have like a desk in the arm, which is nice. So there's a lot of different options and just a nice environment for you to study in. And then moving on, we are going to take a look at Great Basin.
Yeah, so this is one of our newest residence halls. Actually, it opened up a year ago, last fall, for incoming students. And so the neat thing about this hall is that it has a STEM-based residential community, although you are required to be a STEM major to live in here. So that's like science, technology, engineering, or math, those kinds of course or majors. But I do want to point out we have a little convenience store in here. So as I mentioned before, the Wolf Shop is in the Joe. That's way north campus. This hall's on the way on the south end. So it's really nice to have a little convenience store. It's open to all students. So if you went to the store and forgot laundry detergent or something, that's when you have the opportunity to just go right across the street and get that laundry detergent. But enough about that. We're going to get back into the hall. And so we're going to take a quick look at one of the rooms inside. So this hall has a suite style layout. So again, it's those 2 to 3 rooms with a shared bathroom, or a more private room setting. So this is a more private room. So that's where you have a room you share with one other person, so 2 people per room, but you do have a private bathroom for the both of you guys to share. And again, since it is a private bathroom, you are responsible for cleaning it. But yeah, and so as you can see here, you have the same furniture as any other residence hall. The mattress, the frame, the drawer, the desk, and the chair, etc. But cool thing is, like right in the middle, you'll see that it is a whiteboard wall. And this is actually one of the only residence halls on campus that has those whiteboard walls. And so now we're going to take a quick look at another residence hall called the Nevada Living Learning Community. We also like to call it the LLC for short. So the really neat thing about this one is if you're not a STEM major, but you're still looking for that specialized environment, I would say this is the next best thing. In this building, we also have classrooms on the first floor, so you may even have a class in here as well and not live in there. If you live in there, it's super convenient. But in here, we have a suite style layout. So again, a couple rooms that share a bathroom. But the neat thing about this hall is that there's actually different communities in each wing of the floor. So we have the gender, sexuality, and identity wing. We have a Latinx, first generation wing, nursing students, first year students, or athletes or honors. So I mean, if you want to get into a community with like-minded individuals, this is kind of the hall to go. And this hall though does have an additional application on top of it. So there's one general housing application you use for across the board for any of them. But if you want to live in this one specifically, there's additional requirements. I believe there's like an essay and maybe other things that are a part of it. So just keep that in mind when you're looking. But this is just one of how the room inside the suite looks like. And again, you see you have the same furniture in there as well. And so now that does conclude our very short housing tour. But again, as Melanie, sorry, what? But again, as Holly mentioned before, definitely go to the website, unr.edu/housing for more halls and such. And if you have specific questions, definitely reach out to them at housing@unr.edu.
Well, congratulations, everyone. We've made it to the end of our presentation for today. I want to say a huge thank you to Holly and Brianna for such an amazing tour. You guys are awesome. And thank you to our viewers for being with us virtually, at least. We hope for you guys to visit us in person. If you're interested in visiting us in person, please visit unr.edu/visit, and you can learn more information there as well. I hope you all enjoyed this presentation, and we can't wait to see you guys next time. See you guys.